Hey friends, it's Sean from Mind Possible, and it's time for our April community update. Just so you know ahead of time, I'm not going to talk about COVID. There's plenty of that going around, so I'm not going to talk about it. But this is really for any friends of mine, any part of our community who've taken my online courses or read my other books. This is really just a way for me to introduce to you my latest book and why you might be interested in reading it. It's called Renegade Mystic: The Pursuit of Spiritual Freedom Through Consciousness Exploration. And you might be interested in it for some of the following reasons. One is right now you might be feeling like you're lacking a sense of purpose, or you've lost your sense of purpose because things have changed, and you're looking for a way to get new information about your life and your future purpose in life. And in this book, which is really my memoir, and it's very experiential, and it shows you step by step how to experience the same things I've experienced. One of those things is how to inquire about your purpose in your life, or where you can contribute, and how you get that information in the liminal states of mind, on the edge of consciousness. How do you do that? So in this book, you'll find out how I've done that for myself, and then you can apply those methods for yourself. And right now is a really interesting time to do it, because we all have a lot of extra time on our hands, and we also have a lot of questions and a lot of emotional stuff coming out, which is usually a rich time to get new information from our subconscious mind and from our deeper soul level. Another reason to read the book is you might be questioning your spirituality or your religion or your religious tenets, and instead of going from just believing what you've been taught, you want to get actual experience. You want to prove certain things to yourself. So taking it from belief to felt experience or known, witnessed experience. And this book is about my process, how I did that over the years, going from being told to believe certain things to considering new beliefs and then turning those away and having my own experiences that I could find my own answers. This book will show you how to do that too. Also, if you've ever had issues about power and control with a spiritual teacher or religious teacher, or actually with your boss at work, or a teacher in school, or somewhere else in your social group where there's issues of power and control, there are ways to spot it, there are ways to deal with it, and there's something that happens in your own growth when you encounter that and when you move through it and heal from it, and what that does for you. In my book, I talk about my experience with two different teachers where there were issues about power, control, including issues with sex and things like that. So you'll hear my personal story, and you might have some company that way. Maybe you have a similar experience, and just reading this book will make you feel like you're not completely alone in your experience, and it'll show you that there is a light at the end of the tunnel. There's also a list that I make, that I put in the back of the book, of how to spot problems with spiritual teachers or spiritual communities, so that if you're considering joining a group, it'll help you determine ahead of time as much as possible if there's an issue there. And once you're in it, if you start to spot red flags, there's a list of red flags to help you, come into your own confidence that maybe it's time to leave and protect yourself. This book also talks about my experience with psychic phenomena, and this is my personal experience, things I've taught myself to do, such as having out-of-body experiences, which really help to remove my fear of death, which is a big theme in this book, moving objects with my mind, doing remote viewing, so using clairvoyance to receive information about people, places, and things distant in space and time, and mediumship and other things like that. And I talk about what unites all these phenomena. What is this about related to consciousness, and how does this connect to spirituality? What I love about psychic phenomena is that they are a non-dogmatic way of finding spiritual answers. And it's sort of like the Wild West. If you're willing to put in the time and effort, you can train yourself to have these experiences. And this book gives you guidance on how to do that. And now, of course, I have other resources to give you more specific techniques to practice. But then you can really go out and find your own answers, that you could put them in the realm of consciousness development or spirituality. For me, there's really no difference anymore. And if you go through this book, you'll understand why. Another reason is if you're interested in the afterlife, or what is it about being born in this physical body, and what is it to exist without a physical body. That's a big topic, and that's really also in the realm of out-of-body experiences and the realms of experience or reality that people can go to or experience in the out-of-body state. It's becoming a lot more popular, along with lucid dreaming. It's another way to access information from these states, and that's a topic dealt with in this book too. And also, if you're at all interested in contact with non-human entities, we could use the word extraterrestrial, but there are also spiritual entities that are not of this earth. You'll learn about my very personal experiences in that arena as well. And many people have had their own experiences, but they don't have anyone to talk to. So this is a way where we can share that space and go, oh, it happened to him too, or oh, it happened to her too. And how does that connect to consciousness overall? What is the link? Because there is something I believe, and I go into it in the book, about in the past when in Tibetan Buddhism, in Catholicism, in other religions, there's always been this issue of contact with a being in the sky or person-to-person contact. But you read the description or you even see what's been captured on video, and there's a connection there between spiritual figures and non-human entities. And so there's a crossover there. There are a lot more questions that come out of that that might be upsetting for some people, but for others it might be quite eye-opening, and it presents a much wider view of the universe. A couple extra things. If you're interested in meditation, this book gives a unique perspective on meditation and different kinds of meditation. Right now, mindfulness is a buzzword, and it serves a very practical purpose for a lot of people these days because of modern living and modern work requirements, and how that taxes us as human organisms. But there are other ways of meditating that go much, much, much deeper. And I think these are more ancient ways or goals of meditation. And this book talks about the two different kinds, and they both have their purpose. So I'm not talking badly about certain kinds of mindfulness practice. Each has its use and its purpose. But this talks about a purpose that may be forgotten, for a lot of people, or they're not aware of. And this will bring this to your awareness, so that if you want to go deeper or explore your mindfulness or meditation practice in a new way, this will give you some guidance around that. For those of you who are familiar with my work in telekinesis or psychokinesis, affecting objects with awareness and consciousness, there's a special chapter there that I call the 100-hour telekinesis challenge. And it's not only for people who do telekinesis, but it's for researchers and skeptics. It's a challenge that actually helps you go from believing or disbelieving to showing yourself directly, empirically, that you do have an effect on your environment with your own consciousness and your state of awareness. So this talks about that in a very serious way. So it's a challenge that I haven't brought up before, but now there are so many people practicing this around the world, it's really important. I've also created a website for the book that includes videos that are available only to readers of the book. And I've created some videos where I mimic what I see as fake telekinesis online. A lot of people, either they think they're doing the real thing or they're trying to play a trick on you. So I've created some videos to show you what that looks like. And also there's a recording of when I've been teaching telekinesis classes in the classroom. If you've ever wanted to be a telekinesis teacher, or you're curious to see what it's like when I teach people how to move objects with their mind, there's a full-length recording on the website for the book. And the links to all of these videos are in the book itself. So if you just want to go to the basic website, it's renegademysticbook.com, but all you'll see is the front page, because to access it, you have to go through the book. So I guess that's more than enough to share with you. It's really a spiritual adventure, but the thing is, it's not a fiction. It's not made up. This is all based on my real experience ever since childhood. So it's very approachable that way, because maybe you've had similar experiences of your own, and this will help you understand them, or at least you won't feel like you're all by yourself in this. And right now, maybe you're tired of watching Netflix all day long and you want something different, and this will give you that something else. And it could be a gateway to enriching your life, to giving you answers that you find on your own, and just give you something new to think about in terms of reality, and paints a really big picture about this life and this universe, which is probably really important right now, and it'll give you some guidance and emotional support, because now is a very challenging time. So I'll end it there, but I'm always approachable. You can send me an email through my website, myimpossible.com, if you have a specific question, or just join me on Facebook and we can talk there. But I hope you're doing well, and I'll talk to you soon. Bye-bye.
It's time for me to share my story with you and tell you things I've never told anybody else about leaving a safe path, saying goodbye, going to places I've never been to before in my mind, in my heart, and in my very being, to discover that we are much more than physical beings. We are awareness and consciousness. But why are we here? And what happens after our body is gone? I want to introduce you to the people who've been a part of my life and to beings who I still don't understand. I want to share with you the techniques that I've used to make certain discoveries for myself so that you can do the same. In the end, it's not just about my journey, it's about yours.
Renegade Mystic, the pursuit of spiritual freedom through consciousness exploration.